Soccer is a bit of a mystery to me. For some reason my country is obsessed with it, yet I find zero enjoyment watching it. Think the scene from The Simpsons with Kent Brockman commentating in a bored monotone compared to the Mexican, I think, commentator screaming the same thing with an insane excitement as me compared to the rest of my country.
Halfback passes to the center. Back to the wing. Back to the center. Center holds it. Holds it. Holds it.
Halfback passes to center, back to wing, back to center, center holds it, holds it, holds it!
To be honest, The Simpsons actually showed soccer in a highly accurate light, and most of the time when I hear about a soccer game in my city, it's usually accompanied with the reports of flares being set off and fans being loud and violent. The good thing about EA Sports FIFA 16 is you don't get the negatives of the sport, as the focus is on the players, both male and female, of the sport rather than the rowdy fans in the stands. Now, much like EA's Madden NFL 16, I didn't really play much of the newer games. I did grow up playing Nintendo World Cup Soccer on the Game Boy, which is really primitive stuff compared to modern games with its actual rules, fouls, proper teams and all that stuff, including the graphics. I did attend a Pro Evolution Soccer event with Konami back in 2014, however. At that event I was able to pick up the game quickly and come second in an event tournament that was held on the night, leading to claims I was some sort of pro at soccer games even though I hadn't picked up a soccer game for over a decade. Okay, let's get the usual stuff out of the way. This game is very good looking in most respects. The players' faces look like actual people, even if they do lack facial expressions. The grounds look amazing, but then again, it shouldn't be really too hard to render grass correctly, right? Players actually move realistically, even when they collide via a tackle or when they embrace each other on a scored goal. The replays in this game are amazing, with 3 or more camera angles appearing at each time. They also show a nice highlight package at halftime and full-time too, which makes the whole thing feel like a real TV presentation. If I have any gripes with this, it's as I mentioned before, there are no facial expressions. Yes, we do see the disappointment in the body language of the players when they miss a shot on goal or get blocked by the keeper, but to see the disappointment on their faces would be so much better. I'll also make a quick mention of the sound. Now, I do not allow sound in my reviews because it's harder for YouTube to flag me, but this game sounds great. The sound of foot hitting ball is clear, the clang of the ball striking the post either gives you hope or crushes your dreams, and the crowd sounds like a real crowd with their chanting and gasps as they shoot for goal. The commentary becomes white noise, thank God, because I have no idea what these two Brits are talking about half the time anyway. The gameplay in this game is very easy, a lot easier than I was expecting actually. With the EA trainer enabled, you'll notice you have a couple of pass options and a couple of shot options while on offense, and 2 different type of tackles while on defense. A small meter above your character's head indicates how hard you're going to do the required action, and the more you hold the button the harder shot is, but it's also less accurate. When new situations come up for the first time, the game will stop for a moment and explain what to do, which is really helpful because the game just doesn't like to explain anything at all. There is also voice recognition available for some reason, but I'm still trying to work out why this feature exists. Now, it wouldn't be an EA Sports game without modes, and just like every other EA Sports game, this one has a lot of modes. You have the usual quick match, trainer, skills game, tournament modes, but the main attractions are FIFA Ultimate Teams and My Career modes. FIFA Ultimate Teams is just like every other Ultimate Teams mode you've seen in every other EA Sports game. You create a team of players from a random pool of cards. You assign those players into their correct positions with players from the same country, club or matching position to increase your team's chemistry, or how well the team is going to play together. If you have players in the right spots with the right players that they get along with, the better your team is going to play overall. Of course, you get to learn all this with a proper fully blown Ultimate Team. Then you have everything ripped away from you to build your way up from the bottom. Going from a great team to a craptastic team really kills the fun early in this mode for me, but then again, I have yet to find a version of Ultimate Teams that makes me want to play more than just a couple of games before giving up and going on to something else. To improve your pool of players, you need to purchase player packs just like every other Ultimate Team game. You do this with points that you get for accomplishing goals and just playing through various modes. But just like Madden NFL 16, these points come at such a slow drip feed that getting enough coins together to buy a basic pack is frustrating. That's if you can get into the store to begin with. During my playthrough, the store was down, so I wasn't able to get into the store to see if I can buy some packs to improve my team, or if there is actually a real money component to this. The other main mode in this game is the mandatory My Career mode. This is where you take control of either a coach or a player and play through games, improving over time to either become a legend, just another guy on the team, or a nobody. Coaching is just like playing a standard game. You get the guys to train once a week, then play the whole team in a game at the end of that week. The player side, on the other hand, is where things become more interesting. You can create your own player from scratch or play as an already established pro. I couldn't resist playing as the virtual representation of myself. The game does give you an option to use EA's Game Face feature, which is like scanning your own face into the game, but the website is such a pain in the butt that it's not even worth trying. Once into the game proper, you get to train yourself up with a bunch of drills, then play the game. You obviously get more points if you do the drills yourself rather than auto simulation. You also have goals to complete over the span of a season, match, etc., such as scoring and setting up goals for your teammates. Now once you get into the game itself, things change up both visually and gameplay wise. As a single character, the camera will focus on you and only you. While this does make seeing other teammates behind you somewhat of a challenge, it's actually a bit of a refresh and a bit of a difference that is really needed in this type of game. You also have a chance to call for passes if you're greedy, or tell your teammates to take a shot. So in essence, you are the captain of the team as well as a rookie player. In my first game, I scored 4 goals before being taken off. Once my character was taken off, I could continue playing as a whole team or simulate to the end of the match. Which I did, because why would I want to make those other guys look good after I did all the work? One big feature of this game is the inclusion of the Women's International Cup teams, meaning all the countries in the Women's International Cup tournament are represented. Now, to be honest, the characters look visually no different to the male characters until you get to look at their faces. I feel that this was a last-minute idea that was used to be a marketing gimmick rather than actually something that they put full-blown effort into. The games play the exact same way, with the only difference being the faces and parts of the body type. However, this is just as enjoyable as the rest of the game, so I hope EA can expand on this concept in the future till they are ready to give women a full game of their own. To wrap things up, I'm going to say I'm quite impressed with this game. As I said in the beginning, I'm not a soccer fan. However, after playing this game for the review, I'm tempted to go back and keep playing, especially the My Career mode, just to see how my digital self will progress. The game itself is easy enough to pick up and play that just about anybody can get involved, which is a huge plus. However, it's going to be hard to keep the attention of non-soccer fans for the full life of the game. I say if you're a hardcore soccer nut, give it a go. If you want a soccer game to try, then this is the perfect one to start with.